Welcome back to V8 Creative and part 50 of the Ultima RS build, and on this mega episode we're going to put power to the beast for the very first time. Yes, welcome back to the Dean Den and another all-day pass. And on this episode, I'm going to be passing the 5,000 subscriber mark. So thank you to all of you out there tuning in. And as you heard in the intro, I'm going to be applying power to this beast for the very first time. I'm not talking about horsepower, I'm talking about volts and amps. Yes, I'm going to be powering up the systems on the car for the very first time and sharing with you what this amazing car looks like in the dark. Anyway, what I've got to do first is finishing off the electrical systems, so let's just go over to that unpacking area and I'll explain what I'm going to be fitting on this episode. Welcome! And I'm sorry I'm giggling to myself, but for some reason I can't get this scene out. I think this is take 9, 10, but anyway, we're going to get there. Wish me luck. Okay, so what we're focusing on is the rear clamshell, and more specifically the electrics. And what Ultima do is they provide like a rear clamshell loom, that's what they call it. It's a very simple set of wires with one end, two connectors that connect into the main loom. And on the other end, we have two connections that go into the rear light units. We then have a spur that connects to the rear number plate lights. And then we also have another spur that connects to the fog light. Yes, the RS needs fog light. Now, because I'm putting this car on the road in the UK, it's a legal requirement to have one of these bright red lights on the back in case it's foggy. If you're following my footsteps and you're going to order a kit, when you're talking to the factory, tell them where you're going to register the car, and they will then say if you need to order a fog light or not. And on the topic of fog lights, here's one that I received earlier. So let's just open this up and see what it looks like. Wow, what a lovely bit of kit. If we see here, here's the fog light, LED, there'll be high intensity there. But what Ultima have done is they provide a bracket, which is powder coated, of course, in satin black to match the rest of the rear clamshell inside. Then we have riv nuts, and these actually bolt into the rear clamshell. So a nice bit of kit that. And do you know what that reminds me of is it's like a high intensity rain light on Formula 1. Anyway. We'll go and fit that in a second. And while I'm here, while we're on looking at the rear clamshell components, we have these rear reflectors. And interestingly, you know, I was talking about the fog light being compulsory in the UK. Well, these little babies are compulsory everywhere. So you have to fit these. And they've got 3M double-sided tape, and they just go on top of two of the grills on the back of the car. They're very neat, but they're very important if, for example, the car's on the side of the road in the dark and none of the lights are on. So let's get over to the car and start fitting this kit. Welcome to the rear of the RS and my working position for the first part of this video. Now, as you can see, we have this huge hole here, which, to be honest, is very useful for when I'm going to be routing this rear loom. And I'll pop the camera inside so you can see me working on that wiring in a moment. Now, when this car is finished, what it's going to look like is this mesh, let me get the right way around, sits in this aperture like this, and then these two holes here, this is where the exhausts come out. It's going to look amazing. Now, when I'm putting in the fog light, which will be one of the first jobs I'm going to be doing, the fog light actually sits behind this mesh. That's pretty smart actually, because you can't really see it until it's switched on. So what I need to do is just offer this up and make sure I leave just enough room for that fog light to sit behind this mesh once it's installed. Anyway, What you can see here is the termination point, 2 connectors from the RS loom. So what we have to do first of all is connect our clamshell loom. And of course this needs to be removable if we ever want to take the rear clamshell off to do any work on the engine. So we plug both of these together like so. There you go. Now what I need to do now is route this wiring so it actually connects to the rear lights and also number plate lights and also the fog light. Now what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to lay these down.
to go yourself. Ow, ow. I would really like to see you try to win me over. If this is making me confused, it must really, really mess me up. You got yourself someone new who's not for you. You're not worth it, but I can
there you go. Well, I hope you like the background music. Sorry about that, but I just want to watch some TV in the background. Anyway, you probably saw me doing a lot, and I mean a lot of measuring for where that rear fog light goes, because it needs to be exactly central. Otherwise, if someone's following behind and it's off center, it would annoy me, so it would probably annoy them as well. Anyway, I'm just going to get the camera and I'm going to show you how it's all been routed in, and then next we'll put on those reflectors. So you can see here, I've just popped the mesh in temporarily just to show you what it looks like, and there's the fog light. Isn't it cool? Look at it. It's just like poking out behind. It's really good. And the loom, I've just pop riveted it, and I put quite a few pop rivets in because I don't want it to move particularly, just to make sure it's all secure. So yeah, let's pop this out and I can show you. That's obviously bonded in with sealant when we pop it in, but I want to put the exhaust on before I do that to make sure it's exactly central to the exhaust pipes. So here is the fog light, and I'm going to bring you in a bit closer. So you can see the loom connection down there, and then what I've done, you can see I've used P-clips and pop rivets just to put that all up there. Then you can see here, this is the connection to the rear light. And then, sorry about the focus, then we have the loom, and I've tied all this together with zip ties, and there's the fog light. Oh, looks cool, doesn't it? Looks really good. It's a nice bracket, that. And then it goes along, and then again up to the back of the other light. I know it's a bit dark, but anyway. And it's all done. So let's put on the reflectors next. Now, I've got to show you this. So people, when they say your garage is so tidy, there you go. That's what it looks like when I finish a job, but you don't usually see that. Yeah, my fine adjustment tool there, always useful to have that. Anyway, let's put these reflectors on. So the reflector sits just there, like so. It's quite nice that radius matches the radius of the reflector, and that just sticks like that, which I must say looks very subtle, but as I said, it's a mandatory requirement regardless what country you're in. It's got a good 3M tape on the back, so quality, and then that just goes on like so. Now what I'm going to do is make sure the gap around it is exactly the same. Yeah, I know, but that's me for you. So let's put that on. Looks good. Let's pop the other one on. Now, before the big turn on, there's a few things I've got to do. I've got to charge up that battery. It's been sort of sitting here for 2 years, so I'm just going to charge that up, top it up. And then also, what I'm going to do is put on all the ancillaries, for example, like the wing mirrors, and wire those in. So I've got the minimum amount of open wires when I do the power on. Now, there are a few things I want to do, and it includes wing mirrors. It's the console in the middle of the dash, the binnacle. And then also in the back there, I have to wire in the low pressure fuel pump, also the fuel senders, which I didn't really complete in a previous episode. And it's quite interesting this, because I'm getting to the point now, and I'll go through it at the end of this episode, I'm pretty much ready to install the engine. Yep. Probably next episode, so keep tuned. So what I'm doing now is making a list of all those little jobs that I previously skipped and just need finishing. For example, this side repeater here on this side, I didn't fit it. I just did one side for the episode. So I've done that, and there's a few other things around it, just tidying up. So bear with me. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, and you'll see what I'll be doing all around the car. And then we'll be ready for the big switch on.
All they see is just a young, pretty face. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. Don't matter how much time it will take. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. Don't matter how much time it will take.
up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it takes. I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. Oh, baby, I just can't give up.
Wiring in the wing mirror into the main loom requires me to tie the fuse board out of the way, and what I'm doing here is I'm taking these 3 connectors and then I'm connecting it to the loom. So I'm looking at the data, and the red goes to the purple orange. So I go in here, it is tight, I would say, purple orange. There it is there. Purple orange. Blimey, that's tight. Next we have green. Goes to yellow. Green. And then yellow. That one. That's that. And then if I check back here. What's that? Somewhere else? Black. That goes to yellow. That goes to the last one, right? Yellow. Right. Black. You can see this. Yellow, blue. There you go. And now that's all done. So let's just cut this off. Now I can bring the fuse board back down, line it up.
Don't wanna waste time. I'll never be this young. I'll never be this young again. Don't wanna chase highs when I'm too worn out. When I'm too worn out. So I'm never coming down. Never coming down. Never coming down again. I was born to be this high. Born to be this high. Born to be this high, my friend. Won't you come up here to my altitude? To my altitude. Yeah, you. 'Cause I always liked you. I wanna share this view. I wanna share this view with you. We're never coming down. Never coming down. Never coming down again. We were born to be this high. Born to be this high. Born to be this high, my friend. Broken people flying like heroes all around town and never
The next job is to fit this instrument bezel onto the top of the dashboard. Now, we have a couple of sort of mini looms here. So I'm going to take these off and then connect those to the female connectors on the loom. So I'll take that one off and that one. It's pretty obvious which goes to which. Next, what I need to do is just check that the settings within these 2 instruments are correct. Now the factory should have done it, but as you can see, once this is in the car, it's going to be pretty difficult to check. So just getting a screwdriver. So you can see here the rubber bungs. Okay, now this is the rev counter. Now let me look. Tachometer. So how many switches have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 switches, and it should be 11000001. So it's 100. Hang on, let's try again. 11 11, all zeros, and then a 1. Yep, I'll try and give you a close-up of that. That's quite difficult to do, but in here you can see the little dip switches, and they have to be set correctly. So the factory got that correct, which is good. So they're ready to go in now. Now what I've got to do next is get inside the car and attach these two looms. Okay, so we have two connectors here. One's the speedo, one's the...
Don't wanna waste time. I'll never be this young. I'll never be this young again. Don't wanna waste life. I'll never be this dumb.
Branding. Yes, I thought I'd brand my RS with V8 Creative. Now, a good location to do this is actually on the small sun strip on the top of the windscreen. So as you can see here, I've got V8 Creative and the actual wispy bit on top, which actually represents a vehicle, believe it or not. This I've had made in RAL 3001, which is the same red to match the AP Racing brake calipers and also the rocker covers. Now, I wasn't sure of like the curve of this text to go on the sun strip, so I had a straight one made, one at 5 degrees and one at 10 degrees. And actually, it is the 10 degrees one that fits perfectly. Let me show you now. So if I get this V8 Creative here and I pop it just on the screen, you can see it follows that curve perfectly. Now, what I'm going to do is find the center of this vinyl, and then I can line them up and put it on. That was pretty cool, that. Don't quite know where I'll put it, probably about there. Okay, let's do it.
Come as you are and leave as you please, as long as you pleasing me, baby. Do what you want, you're not mine to keep, as long as you're driving me crazy. They say lovers never make it without someone wanting more.
What you do is you pull the backing off, keeping this backing part low. Just got to be easy doing this, easy. Lay this on here, not like that. Okay, lay this on here, so they line up, and nice, like that. Yes, another episode draws to a close with my smoke machine making this a very atmospheric end. And what an episode. That end scene, that took me a little while to film, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the music from the Space Odyssey. Anyway, next episode, episode 51, we're going to be putting in the engine. Yep, that episode you've all been waiting for. So until next time, if you haven't subscribed, please tick that box. And, and as I always say, enjoy your spannering. Bloody hell.